Hey guys, I'm here for my Black Clover episode 20 review, English sub. It started off pretty good, they were back from their mission, they're relaxing. Asa's just coming, he finally woke up. He's having breakfast with the crew, they're all chatting it up and stuff, and then what's his name walks in, the big guy, the boss of the group, and he's like, I gotta send you guys on to a thing to make a report to the people and stuff, the king. So they're trying to decide who they'll send with them. Eventually, they all just realize they have a fighting mission. One of them, luck is going on with someone else, and then others are doing stuff. And eventually, they end up going. Nola and Asa, they start heading towards the palace, and they run into Asa and Klaus and the other one, and Klaus and Una also start talking, saying hi and stuff, and talking, it's all good, you're all healed up, basically. And he's like, yeah. And it's thanks to her, because of her healing power, and she freaks out and runs away and starts, and then Nola goes and asks, what's wrong with you? And starts talking about, and then she's starting to get kind of jealous a little bit. They both start moaning over there, and they're like, why are they moaning over there? It's just like, what the hell? And then you have, they get to the door, and then they realize the Wizard King himself is presenting them, like gonna listen to the report personally. So they go up to this like clock tower, they're talking and stuff, and like they give the report. And then he's looking at Uno's book because of the spell and asking about it and asking if he would show. And Klaus is like, you really are a magic freak nerd, like a nerd, like over magic. And then Asa gets kind of like, oh, look at my book. And he's like, oh, I can't read any of this. And then Asa pulls out the sword out of the book and gives it to him. And he's like, oh, can I see that? And he picks it up and he almost falls to the ground because he's like, how can you hold this? Like, it's so heavy. And then he realizes, because it's not really anti-magic. Well, it is anti-magic, but it also absorbs magic. Like, it's like it started absorbing the king's magic. It's like also a Zorb magic type of thing. And he's like, here you go. He gives the sword back and stuff. And then they asked how to become the Wizard King. And Klaus answered, like, King doesn't have time to explain stuff like this. And he says, it's about... Sorry about that, guys. It's about earning the people's trust, and then the king's like, no, it's about something else, like resolve and like, prove yourself and stuff and other things, and then the people will eventually want you to be the Wizard King type of thing like that. And then he invites them to like a thing, so they go with him to this thing. They enter a hallway, there's a bunch of people watching them, and then they go in, there's another bunch of people, and then the king it shows the level, like classes, like Night class 5, like having, when you get stars and stuff, he was giving them like a ribbon or something type of thing, like a trophy or whatever, for doing so well on their missions and stuff, these other guys, and like giving them class rank, like class level 5, class level 4, class level 3, class level 2, class level 1, like how you would go to the top, like be the king type thing. And then you also get to see the king be like, oops, I have to go now, after he handed all. And then it kind of gets interesting, because they're all just sitting there, like, everyone hates these guys, right? The higher ups hate Asa and Uno and Nola and stuff because they're embarrassed of them and stuff. And then they start like talking amongst themselves, and like they're just like sitting there awkwardly, except for Asa, of course. He's sitting there pigging out, and then people are just like, ugh. And then they started making fun of him, and then he's just like, everyone's like, in Asa's group, like, oh, poor Asa. And Asa's like, eh. And they're like, you forgive way too easy, Asa, because they're like making fun of him and saying crap. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't bother me. And then eventually they started doing it to Uno, and then eventually, aren't you embarrassed, Klaus, to be here at your rank? And then they started doing it to the other girl, and then eventually one of Nola's siblings or relatives poured something over her head, and that's where I feel like Asa just couldn't take it anymore. He gets up on the table after that, like, you don't need to run from these bastards. and he gets up on the table, and then one guy tries to stop him from saying what he says, and he breaks through, and he just has a big speech, like, all this other shit going on, like, you guys, well, I'm gonna be the Wizard King, stuff like that, and, like, you know, you should be in stuff like that. I don't know, guys. Let's just see what's gonna happen for next week. It was a pretty good episode. It was a little laid back, but it wasn't. I feel like it was an important episode because we're gonna find more about everything. It was quite interesting, if you ask me. Oh yeah. I've been sick this past week. I had the flu, so I'm a little under the weather. But I'm very excited for this. I'm gonna do my English dub. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video for that after. But this was a good episode. I'm very proud of this episode. There was a lot of importances in this and stuff. You know, it was a good episode, man. I might even read the first manga of this later. I have volume 2 coming tomorrow. It's already down at the post office. I just have to pick it up. Oh, man. Yeah. Don't want to get copyrighted. Ooh, interesting. That's pretty funny. Can't show you because I'll get copyrighted, but let's... It looks exciting. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed my review. Peace out.